Week number 4 on the van, we're back. It's sunny. Look at that gorgeous sunshine. So you know what that means, it's sunny. It's going to be dry for a few days. I've got to get the window cut in. So we're going to be taking out all this panel just here and replacing it with this nice piece of toughened glass over here. So first things first, I'm going to make sure I've got the right piece of glass. It lines up with there. And then we're going to start cutting the side of the van, which is a kind of no-go back scenario. So let's get on with it. So first things first then, we've got to take this panel off the inside of the door so we can see the frame that we're going to cut round. So I'll get the camera set up ready for that and we'll get going. Well, what do you know? So I've taken that outer panel off and look, we've got another one. Yay! So let's take that one off too. It did look like that was a genuine Ford panel because it's got these genuine pop brackets behind it. So what I'm going to do is pull those off somehow. We're going to work out how to get those off. And then this is where we're going to be cutting out. So once I get those off, I'll show you what we're going to do next. This door was blue at some point. You see there, look, the blue coming, all the blue underneath. Whether that's just the primer, which I wouldn't have thought it would be, but it does definitely look glossy. So I'm imagining this door's been resprayed at some point, or it's had a new door on the side. So basically, we're going to be cutting out following this frame here, from what I understand, all the way through, across there, around there, all that, or everywhere around there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put holes, drill holes there, 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 and then what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do the straight bits with a grinder, with a flat blade, a cutting blade grinder. So we'll try that, and then the other bits, right, like the corners and stuff, I'll have to do with a jigsaw. So this is it. Drill bit is set. I feel like Ron in Harry Potter, the first one. Once I make my move, there's no going back.
Once I make my move, the Queen will take.
Yeah, so we're going to put 8 holes, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 and 2. And once the first hole goes in, that's it, there ain't no going back. So I'm going to put it on time warp while I do the hole to make it nice straight edges, and then I'll just join them up with a curve really. What I want to try and do is I might see if I can find a bit of tape that matches that curve so I can do the jigsaw from the outside, but we'll wait and see. So firstly I'll go around with a 3mm and then I'll finish off with an 8mm. Wish me luck. Alright, so the grinder is going to be fine for certain bits. So I'm going to grind down there again, but the bottom, I can't control the sparks going in towards the front. Don't have any sheeting or anything, so the bottoms look like they're going to have to be jigsaw job. But we'll wait and see, shall we? And it was at this point here the sparks were burning the top of my head, so I thought, do you know what, I'm going to go for the jigsaw instead. So you'll see I've added a load of extra pilot holes. I decided, you know what, I'm going to cut it from the outside because the ridge on the inside of the van is making it too difficult with the big plate on the jigsaw. I think if I do this again, I'll definitely be buying a reciprocating saw or some sort of little air saw and a compressor because it's just too tight. So you can now see most of it's cut off with a jigsaw, so I just finish off where the braces are, cut through the front plate and then through the braces at the back. And there you go, out she comes. Right, so the window's all cut out now. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get the flappy disc and just level off some of these bits coming up to the bracket. It was a bit wibbly wobbly, so just get those bits leveled off. Also with the flap disc, it will take some of the sharp edges off there. Then I'm just going to run around it with some 80 grit, or I think 120, I can't remember what I've got, sandpaper, and then I'm going to put the knock-on trim on. So, I'm also going to prime the edges with a little bit of Rust Protect primer, just to give it some protection. So yeah, let's pick back on time lapse. So after I knocked off the rough edges, I just put a bit of rust primer in the cap and then painted it on with a paintbrush just to give me some protection. Right, so that's all primed in. So next we got the trim. So this trim actually fits, I don't know if you can see, get close enough there. There's 2 skins there. So the trim actually fits across both of those. So what I'm going to do, I'll set the time lapse up, find roughly where the middle is, which is somewhere around there, and we'll get this fitted. So then I just pop this on. It's a bit backwards and forwards and trying to get it over both edges. But once I did get it lined up, it was pretty easy to knock on, to be fair. I just used a copper mallet. Then I watched a video about trimming it, and they said trim it slightly longer than where you want it, so you can lift it up and tuck it in. It pushes it in tight all the way around. Then just a quick clean with alcohol wipe on that and on the window. Then it's time to prime. So I just put a thin bead around on the van, just so I know where exactly I'm going to put the adhesive. And then I filled the same in on the window, but I went a very much wider bead on the window just to give myself some protection, because it can't be seen from the outside anyway. Now let that flash off for 10 minutes. Now again, talking about things I'd change if I did this again, I would definitely get a battery powered cork gun, because this was an absolute nightmare to squeeze out, and to try and keep an even bead, my forearms were burning by the end of this. So as soon as that was done, I got the window with 2 window circles on there so I could place it in, got it roughly lined up where I wanted it, put the tape across the top, and then pushed all the way around the window. Didn't slap it, just pushed nice and gently. I did mess up. There's a slightly bigger gap at the top than there is at the bottom, but it's really not that noticeable. Right, so I need to let that dry now for 24 hours or so. It's lovely and sunny, so hopefully it should do it good. So that's me done for this week. I'll be back next week finishing the floor inside, getting the lino down and finishing the insulation. So fingers crossed after that's done, it'd be carpet the walls and then put the shelving in, or all the cabinets in. So yeah, thanks for being with us for the journey. Don't forget, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra now.